18 years ago, the government started a big campaign to improve housing in Mexico. The goal was to build the most housing possible in a short amount of time. By doing this, they prioritized the quantity, but forgot the quality. Today, these social housing are deserted. Because of the race to make more and more housing, many aspects have been left aside. They have been poorly designed with deficient water and electricity systems, no consideration for people's culture and background, and sometimes built in dangerous places, such as wetland or unstable hillsides. Infrastructure and services were not taken in consideration. No schools, no public parks, no public transport to connect this isolated housing to the city center. This is only one example of failed attempts to solve the housing situation in Mexico. The tremendous expansion of the city this past decade led to a lack of free land and a rise in prices. People with low income cannot afford to live in the city anymore. Another problem is that people who earn less than 5 times the minimum wage in Mexico are not part of the loaning system, which means they cannot ask for a loan at the bank to build or buy a house for the simple fact that they cannot pay it back. So with no help from the government, the only solution left to these people is to start building by themselves. The problem that comes next is that these people have little or no knowledge about building norms. And often, houses are built in dangerous places, in dangerous ways. I went to the village of Totolapan, in the state of Morelos, about an hour and a half from Mexico City. This area is close to the epicenter of the 2017 earthquake, and people living there have lost everything.
Nos quedamos sin hogar.
La casa se destruyó, el adobe se vino todo abajo.
Nos quedamos así con la cara de tristeza. ¿Qué vamos a hacer?
The NGO Casa y Ciudad came here to rebuild their houses and reconstruct their lives. Organisms such as Casa y Ciudad help low-income families in marginalized neighborhoods to build their houses by giving them social and financial support. They're also giving them a technical assistance by helping them to build their house in a way that respects safety norms. They also use a process called participative design. Families are working with architects and engineers to build their house the way they want it.
Te estamos dando las bases y tú eres el que decides cómo puedes edificar tu casa, cómo te gusta, cómo la quieres. Y eso para nosotros fue algo bien maravilloso.
Building your house yourself has a lot of advantages. Obviously, it's cheaper than contracting a company, and you can work at your pace, day by day.
Yo creo que poquito a poquito, después vamos a tener una casa más bonita que esta. Poco a poquito, con otro granito de arena que trabaje mi esposo, yo creo que podemos tener ya nuestra casita bien terminada.
It also permits the families to adapt the house to their needs. For example, in traditional houses, the kitchen and the toilets were placed outside because of the smell, and this is not taken into account in new social housing.
El que nosotros podíamos elegir tanto de qué material la queríamos, de qué forma la queríamos. Al menos nuestra casa fue diseñada para nuestras comodidades, para que cada quien tuviera su espacio, y en ningún momento nos limitaron en decirnos va a ser así y así. Nos dejaron que nuestra casa fuera construida a nuestra comodidad y a nuestro gusto.
I was very impressed by the variety of design. Every family with the same budget built a very different house. By building their own, families have a feeling of identity. There is a history about the house. In this situation, everybody participates. The family, the parents, the kids, but also the neighbors.
Mi esposo fue su propio albañil y de alguna manera pues nosotros había días que le ayudábamos a cargar block, arena.
So at the end, this experience is more than building a house, it's also building a community.
No sabíamos todo lo que habíamos pasado unos y otros, y en cambio esto nos acercó más, y pues a pesar de ser unas personas que nos veíamos y nada más nos saludamos de adiós y buenas tardes, pues ahora pues nos saludamos como que con más gusto, ¿no? Tenemos una historia que contarle a nuestros hijos y a nuestros nietos en un futuro.
It also gives the possibility to think about the future. In traditional Mexican families, when the family grows, the apartment has to grow as well, in the form of a second floor or another apartment in the same lot. And this is important to take into account in the design process. The goal of Casa y Ciudad is not only to build houses, it's also to build a community that can grow and improve the whole neighborhood. I went to study another project in the community of San Francisco, Tlalnepantla, where they use the same process of self-building. In this neighborhood, there's a lot of juvenile delinquency and drug consuming.
Tanta delincuencia, vicios, alcoholismo, drogadicción.
To put an end to this problem, the community decided to build a community center for children, to show them a better path for their lives. Casa y Ciudad helped the community by organizing workshops to make a diagnosis of the situation and formulate a proposal.
No hacemos nosotros los proyectos al margen de la comunidad, sino facilitamos la organización y hacemos una serie de dinámicas grupales, les llamamos talleres socioeducativos, donde la comunidad, en un ejercicio libre, analiza primero, hace un diagnóstico de sus necesidades y también libremente hace una serie de propuestas. Los proyectos se hacen de manera colaborativa y participativa.
The idea is to design the community center with the community to fulfill their needs. Today the community center is open and various activities are taking place, such as boxing or taekwondo.
Se hacen talleres, se hacen cursos, actividades deportivas, como ahorita tenemos taekwondo, tenemos box.
Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for watching it. Like it, share it, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next week for more videos about housing in Mexico. Bye.